Hey, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I sit down with Chocky, aka the controversial coach. His profile has absolutely blown up in the last 6 to 12 months. And I think in this conversation, you are going to see exactly why. Enjoy my chat with the one and only controversial coach, Chocky. Chocky, thanks for being here, mate.
Mate, thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
How are you enjoying your stay on the Gold Coast?
Mate, I love the Gold Coast. If I could, I'd move here tomorrow.
What stops you?
Misses.
Okay, fair enough.
Misses and family, man. Look, we've settled. We moved out of Sydney December last year. I wouldn't move again now. Kids are happy. Missus is happy. I like it there, but the Gold Coast sort of has a calling. I don't know what it is, man. And many people say it. It's a good spot for entrepreneurs. It's a good place to network. It's unreal. I love it.
Yeah, it's a different place. I grew up in Central Coast.
Yep.
Spent 6 years in Sydney. I lived in Pyrmont and Maroubra when I was in the Navy. I stayed in Sydney, but I like it up here.
Man, it's lovely.
It's beautiful. Gets hot. We one day plan to move to the States. Got our heart set on a place over in the States in Nashville.
Yeah, right.
20 minutes south of Nashville, a little place called Franklin.
Heaps of guns.
A lot of guns,
Very
cigars.
safe.
Well, what I love is they love Jesus, they love cigars, and they love steak. I'm like, I'm thinking,
sweet home.
Home sweet home. So that's good. Mate, where were you last night? I heard you were at a little event last night.
Mate, I was at the International Brawling Championships. It was amazing. It was
wild.
amazing. It was wild. It was the most Aussie fighting event I've been to.
Right.
And for those of you listening, if you haven't heard about it, go check it out. It is, phenomenal stuff, man.
How many fights did they have last night?
Oh, man. I think there were about 10.
Okay.
Every single one of them had a knockdown or knockout. It was hectic.
For those who don't know it, what is it? Is it like stand-up only?
So it's
wrestling?
stand-up boxing, but UFC gloves.
Okay, so high chance of being knocked out.
In a cage.
In a cage.
In a cage.
Nowhere
and
to
they
run.
just bang it out.
I saw something about they got a rule where you've got you almost get called into the middle. They do something. What's that?
Pretty well, man. So look, last night was the first time I seen it, but pretty well. There's a little square in the center of the cage,
Right.
And they have to keep 1 foot in and just bang it out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It was awesome. Like I reckon it'll take over the fight scene. Like,
okay.
Obviously you got the hood contender, but I think it doesn't have the funding behind it. Right. Probably not the popularity. People love it still, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's exciting.
But you look at how this has been set up. This already has international TV. Like it's already on international TV. It's all around the world already. This is his second event. It will go bang. He found a niche in the market and he's hit it. And he's hit it hard.
Yeah, I mean Aussies especially.
Mate, they love a good scrap.
They do like a good scrap.
They love a good scrap.
I remember from school, when I was in school, we had a little. I was scared of it before I got to high school, but when we're in primary school, the boys in high school would tell us, "Hey, you're coming to high school next year, and you got to get in the pit." For those who remember from back in Kingcumber High School, we had the pit.
Yeah.
Now the pit was just a garden, but you got thrown in the pit and you had to fight your way out. You know how petrified you are as an 11-year-old when you're being told by year 7, 8 boys,
"That's brilliant.
See you in the pit,"
That's
right?
brilliant.
No, it's long-standing history of fighters in Australia. Mate, I wanted to have you on here. You and we had Sam in here yesterday. Man, a couple of Australia's finest. Just all of a sudden, the profiles have just gone through the roof. How much has your life changed in the last year?
Man, if I told myself a year ago I'd be here now, I'd probably laugh. It's insane. Like the opportunities, the connections, the networking, it's just a whole different level, man. And I think it's all from just speaking truth, or our truth at least. Like Sam and I speak very similar stuff.
Yeah.
He's a little more, the way I always put it, it's more like a good cop, bad cop. I'm there yelling and screaming, sort of trying to snap people out of that just placid living life, being comfortable. And I'm like, wake up, something's going wrong. And then after they find me, they sort of go to Sam and he sits there for 3 minutes and explains to you what's going on. And it's like, something's wrong here, you know? And the growth, man, like I said, I moved out of Sydney at the end of last year. And, man, like, I don't think I was over 10,000 followers.
Wow.
And now between my Instagram and Facebook, it's 600,000. It's pretty crazy, man.
Which is, it has a massive impact,
Man.
in Australia because our population, that's a big impact.
Yeah, man. And that's not like, I mean, the views per month is up in the 20 millions every month. I think I worked out last month, it was 50 million between Facebook and Instagram. It's a lot of people.
You would have people watching you who aren't happy then.
Oh, 100%. All the time.
Are you feeling the change in in how you have to live your life now?
For sure, man, for sure. Like, I've got to be really cautious. And it's sad, man. Like, you shouldn't have to be cautious in a country like Australia for speaking your own truth.
Yeah.
I do think there is a lot of, I should say, a lot of my message is probably misconstrued. People take it the wrong way. They take it as blanket hate, hence why people call me racist and Islamophobic or whatever it is they want to call me. And there's a part of me that does understand that, because it's like, if I saw someone yelling at a phone for a minute saying that's not acceptable behavior, I'd probably think, well, hang on a second, he doesn't like me. But it's not the case, man. And that's why I love having opportunities to come into long format content like this, to have a yarn and someone can tune in and listen, or they take reels out of it, as everyone does these days, and they push it off a different platform, and it shows that I'm not here to yell and scream. Like, I'm just here to push the same message. We all want peace, love, and unity. Doesn't matter, like I say it, man, I've said it thousands of times now. It doesn't matter color, race, religion. If you're a good person, man, I'll respect you every day of the week. And if you come here and you're happy to live like Australians, I respect you every day of the week, you know? It's what the message is about, man. And I feel as though the growth comes from us just speaking what everyone's thinking. But due to the things like DEI or bosses that are just woke, people can't speak out at all.
Let's go back to, take me back to the baby Chocky.
Yeah.
First of all, people probably would know where you're born. Born in Australia?
So I was born in Colombia, man. I was
in Colombia.
In Colombia, yeah. I was put into an orphanage, man. So my biological mum, I found on my adoption paperwork when I was 16 or so.
Okay.
She didn't have the means necessary to feed, clothe, educate, or look after me. So she did the most selfless act. And man, as a father of two, I could never imagine giving up my kids. Like, I'd do everything. But I suppose we look at it through the lens of being Australian, where you get government aid. In Colombia, you don't. So at the age of 2 months old, man, my parents went and adopted me. They got me from Colombia, brought me home, and this is home, man.
And your parents were in Australia at the time?
Yeah, man, yeah. So they're Australian. They second generation Greek and Cypriot. So my grandparents moved from Greece and Cyprus here. And yeah, man, that's them.
Have you ever found your mum, looked up your mum?
I plan on it. It's quite difficult in Colombia, man. Like, they don't keep records like they do in first world countries here. And I'll wait till my kids get older so I can take them on the search, which would be pretty cool. And obviously, as the platform grows, it probably allows more avenues of me to try and find her.
Are you ready to find her?
Probably not at the moment. I think there's already so much going on in my world. I think that'd just be like a big bomb dropping. It'd shut down everything else. There's a lot of, I don't know if I call it trauma anymore. There was a lot of trauma, there was a massive abandonment wound, and that probably led me down a pretty average path as I was growing up as well.
Okay.
So I think to open that up now in a time where everything is very, not calm. Yeah, it's very intense, man. Very intense. I think it'd be wild. But I mean, look, if the opportunity arose and someone was like, hey man, I know your mum or I can help, I wouldn't say no.
Have you heard the story? You obviously know Tupac, the rapper.
Yeah.
Have you heard the story of one of his early songs called Brendan's Got a Baby? You know, Brendan's Got a Baby?
Yeah.
So there's a story, I saw it recently online, but Brendan's Got a Baby was about a young 12-year-old girl or 13-year-old girl who was pregnant and then basically hid it. So she's living in what they would call like the projects or whatever in the States. Brooklyn, I think, something like that. She became pregnant because she was raped by, I think, an uncle or something. She hid it, gave birth in the projects, put the baby down a rubbish chute. Someone found the baby, rescued it, and that young man grew up. And then someone started, basically pieces got put together, and like 40 years later, these journalists was like, hey, where were you born? And they ended up meeting. And it was the most incredible. And they actually lived in the same city.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was incredible. It was one of those things you're scrolling, right, and you're just trying to wind down for the day. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on?
Mind blown.
Yeah, so Brendan's Got a Baby. Incredible story. So I hope that works out for you one day. You get to it. That'll be incredible.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, man. And
how many children you got?
Man, I got two.
Yep.
Yeah, two. And they're both under the age of 10. I don't delve into them too much publicly, but man,
I understand
they saved my life. Like my eldest, so I had him when I was 20, and man, he pulled me out of a really dark place. Still sort of went up and down, but then the second one, man, like he's really ripped me out of it, which is amazing.
Let's go back to that. So teenage years, was Chocky a good boy, or what was Chocky up to?
I was trouble. Like I wasn't great. I've done my fair share of suboptimal things. You know, I wouldn't say that I was a role model to people around me at that age, but I feel as though it was my coping mechanism, man. Like getting into alcohol and drugs at the age of 14, 15. It was just because I was lost, man. I didn't know how to handle things.
In Sydney?
Yeah, in Sydney. Sydney. I grew up on the North Shore of Sydney. And
How old are you now?
I'm 29.
Okay.
So I grew up on the North Shore of Sydney, man, and a lot of people judge others for that. They're like, oh, the North Shore, you're spoon-fed. And blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, before the age of 25, I think we lost over 10 friends to suicide, murder, overdose. Yeah, man, like it's where you live means very little.
Of course.
In Australia, it doesn't matter what part of the world, really. Like, it doesn't, just because people have this idea that it's a rich area doesn't mean that bad things happen, you know? But yeah, man, I grew up there and it was great. Like I loved my upbringing, man. It was awesome. But I think a lot of the issues that I ran into was purely because no one educated me on how to deal with emotion, really. And like, it's not a crack at my parents or anything. Like they had their own things going on. My old man's quite an interesting character. Dr. Andrew Catalaris, his name is Dr. Pot. So he's the leading medicinal cannabis advocate in Australia, or one of.
Yeah.
Man, he was in and out of the court system my whole life because he refused to let the government take a slice of the pie and tell him what to do when he was helping people. And I think he's probably one of the reasons why I am so outspoken and against the grain, because it's like if someone's telling me what to do, I always question why. Like what's going on? What's the bigger picture? What's happening? And yeah, man, so that's where I got that from. But yeah, being a young pup, I just did heaps of dumb stuff and never really got caught for anything that we did or that I did personally. Heaps of stuff I'm not proud of, man. Heaps of fighting, heaps of just stupid stuff, really. And that's why, man, as I left construction, fast forwarding just a bit of a jump, that's why I got into coaching, man, because the way I look at things now is if we had positive role models at that age, I always think, would those people that have taken their lives, could they still be here? Would those boys that have gone to jail, would they be free? You know, what could be happening if we had that positive older role model to say, man, what are you doing? Like, it's not the way to live your life. So that's why I got into what I got into, man. That's why I try to help people consistently and spread a message that you can be you can be different. You can be better.
What does coaching do?
So it's fitness coaching mainly, but I also run a program called Benders to Barbells. So it's a lot of male clients that are coming out of addiction or they're struggling with addiction, not full-blown everyday use, but just those boys that realize they got a problem, you know, like they're getting on the bags every weekend or whatever. Like I'm not a qualified addiction coach or anything as such. I do work alongside one. So if someone comes to me and they say, man, like I'm dealing with X, Y, Z and they're a bit too much, like I will refer them 100% straight away. But realistically for myself personally and for a lot of people that I've worked with, man, if I find, this sounds crazy, having an addictive personality can be a superpower. Yeah. If you can put that towards something great, man, you are going to go a long, long way. You know, if you can face all that pain, all that trauma, or whatever it is that you're running from, and you can redirect all of that energy, you'll go to the moon and no one will get in your way. Because you think about it, man, like there's that great meme that always floats around Instagram. It's like a junkie will do whatever they have to do to get that hit. So imagine if you transfer that to say, you're going to do whatever you got to do to get a successful business. Yeah. Or look good in the mirror, like whatever it is that you're chasing, you know? Yeah. And I do it via exercise for people. So I say, all right, so you're used to bendering 3, 4, 5 days a week. Man, go to the gym at 4 a.m, you know, and watch what happens. Watch how your life changes. And within 3 months, man, generally speaking, a lot of these boys, like they do fall into a routine. They find love for themselves again. They love what they do. They don't chase a feeling that's fake. And man, some of the transformations I've seen out of these people are the best that I've ever seen.
What do you think it is leading young men to chase the emptiness like that? Because we all do it.
Man,
and some of us are lucky enough to break out of it.
100%.
And some of it, I go back to my hometown or even just people I know. I was in the Defence Force and they're still, I mean, they're 40 now, but they've still got the mindset of a 20-year-old, really. Yeah. They've just been around longer. What is it with young men?
I feel as though masculinity's been made out to be such a toxic thing. They say that it's not good to be masculine. But then on the flip side of that coin, if a man starts to talk, other men don't know how to hear it, or a good portion of other men don't know how to hear it. So for example, man, a lot of my friends that have gone to jail or done crime, when you're in those crowds and they try and talk about emotions or they try and talk about traumas, it's sort of laughed at. Like people put their nose up and they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, and it's not accepted. And I actually had a great conversation with a friend of mine, his dad last night came with us, and he's long history of crime, long history of drug use and abuse. And we were saying that the boys that live that life, right, that do crime, so on and so forth, they're men. And what I mean by that is there's no fear of judgment. They will do whatever they have to do to get a job done.
Yeah.
So imagine if you could break into that crowd and show them their real potential. You know, and a perfect example, man, and a lot of people put their nose up at him now, but look at Spanian. Look at the life that he once lived. Yep. Look where he is now. Everyone's sneering at him like he's driving G-Wagons. He's got veneers, you know, living the dream.
He looks great.
And people are like, you've sold out or you've changed. And it's like, you are going to change. Yep. He's gone from being a heroin addict to killing it, man. Like, people judge. It's,
the Australian culture too, the tall poppy syndrome.
That's what I was about to say as well, man. Tall poppy syndrome is insane in Australia, man. Like, I look at my own growth over this year. When I started, I think I started my Instagram in November last year, maybe, something like that. And my friends, no one got behind me. Yeah. You know? Well, not no one, very small percentage got behind me. And then they saw the growth. 5,000 followers. One more would say, good job. 10,000, I wouldn't hear from anyone. Now it's at 350 and people are like, we always knew you could do it, man. It's like, no, you didn't. You doubted me the whole way.
Oh, it's funny, especially in this space.
Bro.
And like, it's a grind. And you've actually got to feel like, one, take it you're the same.
Yep.
You're not doing it to be famous.
Nah, dude.
I reckon you couldn't give a rat about that.
Don't.
Sam's not doing it to be famous.
Nah, man.
Right? I'm not doing it to be famous. There's something about, especially about the age, getting your late 20s, into your 30s, there's something about when you're a man inside you and you see what's around you is not right, and then everyone who's in a position of authority is trying to convince you it's right, there's a point you get to, I see it in workplaces, in offices, in churches.
Yeah, man.
All of a sudden you're like, it's the rebel kid in school who the way he thinks comes through and goes, no, I'm not buying this.
Yeah, something's wrong.
And all of a sudden you go, I'm just going to say it on camera and see what happens. And you start. And I quite often find that the people sometimes closest to you, then they're nervous that you're going to fail.
100%.
And so they don't know how to support you.
Yeah.
I had one not long ago, someone really close to me.
Yeah.
And he kind of asked the question and it felt loaded. Great guy. Like, we're so close. But the way it came through was like, oh, is the show, like, is it going as how you thought it would go?
Yeah.
And I almost would be like, oi, like, don't say you're worried it's going to fail. Yeah. Just say, hey, keep going. I know you're grinding.
Do you know what, man? I find personally that a lot of people that express their concerns, it's because what you're doing would scare them.
Yeah, of course,
it's full-blown projection, man. Like, they don't have the sack to go out there and put their face online. Like, man, when I started my videos, it was me walking to a construction site, just spitting whatever came to mind about motivation, life, whatever it may be, right? And now, like, my videos are nothing special. I don't have a studio. I sit on my couch in my backyard and speak about things that are issues in Australia. And it's gone crazy. And people are like, all you do is sit on your couch. It's like, well, hang on a second, man. Like, yeah, I do sit on my couch, but I'm saying things out loud that you're too scared to say. So you can judge me all you like, but who's making a difference here? You know what I mean? And I don't do it for the fame at all. Like, the fame is something that I have yet to come to terms with. And it sounds crazy. Like, man, people pull me up on the street for photos. They yell out their cars, Chocky, what's going on? I'm like, oh, okay, you know, and my missus she's such an introvert, bro. God bless her. And every time we go out, like, someone comes up to me, or like we'll walk through somewhere and people are like looking and pointing, like, oh, that's Chock. And she's like, everyone knows you. And I was like, so? You know, and it's like, even my message requests, man, like, I make an effort to talk to people that say, hey, man, you're doing a great thing. Like, I'm no one different to you. You know, I'm no one different to those that watch me. I'm no different to anyone. I'm a dad, I'm an Aussie bloke, and I love this country. That's it. You know, it doesn't mean that because I have a following, I'm some untouchable individual. I'm not, man.
So why'd you charge $10,000 for this?
Get out of town.
It's free. It's free. It's a joke.
Loaded. That's gold.
Hey, I want to go back to just touching on Young Men a minute. We're going to get into a lot of your message, but I just want to sit on this for a second, because a lot of what you say, Sam says, and what I say as well, a lot of that could actually get better and be fixed if we come back to the core, which is young men right now.
100%.
My favourite post I've seen of yours so far was the one you put up, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday, and it was the trans, whatever that thing was, dancing in the Santa Claus outfit, right?
Christmas, yeah, the Christmas.
So if you guys haven't seen it, go onto his Instagram. You would have seen this bloke dressed up, some cross-dresser, drag queen, whatever it was. Just some mentally ill person, right? And your take on it was, yeah, everyone's commenting, but why aren't you there saying something? And I was like, that's the message.
Yeah.
It's not saying be violent.
No.
It's like stand up, call it out. Like when we were in Melbourne, we were watching, it was 11 o'clock in the day. We were sitting in this little bakery and we're watching some live music. And then at 11:30, they left and Drags Queens came on. And my wife was like, oh, we'll let it go. I said, no, get your phone out and film me. I'm like, she's like, no, you can do something. I'm like, I said, no, I'm causing a scene. Because there's kids sitting around till 11 o'clock in the day and these drag queens come up and it's filthy. It's so bad.
It's wrong.
And so I said, let's just at least make a scene about how we're leaving. Like, let's say this is off its head. And I love that message. If you see it, say something. Doesn't mean you have to be violent. Doesn't mean it's just say, hey, this is unacceptable. Film it, post about it. So it's not just 3 people saying it.
100%.
Men, what's your message to young men around that?
Man, exactly that. Say something. Say something. Men, women, mums, dads.
Absolutely.
Say something, man. Like
Mama bears.
Yeah, exactly right. The lady that called out that guy yesterday, so she actually messaged me. She saw my video. She was the one that reached out to 2GB. And she said, she goes, I started yelling. But she's like, I only stopped at fear of getting arrested, like for being a nuisance with my child. And I can understand that. But she's made waves now from it. You know, like look at how big it's gone in 48 hours. So realistically, and I'll say this to anyone, and my DMs already get swamped, but if you see something that is worth sharing, I'll share it, man. Like the thing I shared this morning, I don't know if you saw it. A dad was filling out his child's...
Saw it in the passport form.
Yeah, Australian passport form.
Explain that, yeah.
So step 1 is make sure that your child is an Australian citizen. Step 2, your child's under 18. 3 was that if your child is married, they have to fill out an adult form.
Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself, child marriage, it is illegal in Australia, I looked it up, given that there's parental consent and a court's consent. So it's not easy. So why would they even have to add that for everyone? And then there was the top comment that I pinned is that a mum did her children's passports last year. That wasn't there. So what's changing? Like, why is that there? You know what I mean? So I go through what people send me. And if something is worth relaying to the public, I will. So if you go and make a song and dance about something that you see and you send me that, I will post it. If it's worth posting. Like as long as you're not making a mountain out of a molehill, like if it's actually something that is disgusting and worrying, I'll post it. And man, the videos go off. Like,
did you see, I know you posted about the National Guard young girl.
Yeah.
Did you see she passed away last night?
I did, yeah. Very sad.
How do you feel about the direction of Australia? Because this is one thing I think people would have they would have your message wrong because they see clips. I want to dive into a little bit around immigration, what you think it should look like, you know, fitting in with Australian culture. What is Australian culture? Do you fear that I saw actually, before we go into it, I saw another clip this morning, David Harris Jr. shared it from the States.
Yeah.
And it's a extreme Islamic guy just basically chanting directly after she died, revolution, revolution, revolution. And do you fear the direction of our country around immigration?
When it comes to immigration, yes, but I'm going to go heavily against the grain to what people think. I'm not at all in fear of a Muslim takeover. Like,
you don't fear it?
No, it's not happening here. Like, let's look at statistics. They are 3% of the population. Let's say 10% are extreme. They're not taking over Australia, man. Like, realistically, the way that I see Australia being taken over, it is immigration, but it's not from Arabic countries, man. Like, unfortunately, I'm going to single it out because this is where most of them come from, but it's India. Man, you look at the construction industry, how they were going to sign that $1 billion deal or whatever it was for them to come over and build houses here. You don't need to, we don't need to worry about extremists coming. You need to worry about just general
mass immigration.
Man. That's all. That's what it is. And I think that the big thing is at this point in time that I'm seeing online, which is very dangerous, is blanket hate, but low IQ racism. So what I mean by that, and that's thank you, Nick Fuentes.
I was going to say that's a Nick Fuentes specialty.
But what the reason why I say this, right, is there are so many people getting into a theological debate online. People bag out the Quran, people bag out all of this stuff with zero understanding apart from seeing like one little excerpt out of it. Man, you can't get into a theological debate and brag on someone's religion without knowing what you're talking about. And everyone gets upset when they see an Arabic Muslim man wanting to fight someone who's burning the Quran. But let me put that to every Christian out there. Imagine you saw someone burn the Bible. What would you do? And I mean, obviously it is a little different because Christians have been brainwashed into thinking you must be tolerant. But I know plenty of Christian men out there that would hit the roof if they saw a Bible get burnt. So you have to think about that, and you have to think about the implications on society when blanket hate comes into play. Man, I have Muslim friends to this day, and some of them are in Sydney, man. And one of them told me the other day, his kids and his wife can't go to Bondi anymore because they just get heckled the whole time. Like, you're a this, you're a that, like talking to children like that, man. That's not okay. You know, so we're teetering on the edge of Cronulla riots on steroids, and that's not good. That's going to make everything worse in terms of government overreach. As soon as violence breaks out, man, it's all over. They will change the way we live our lives at the drop of a hat.
Do you feel there's a part of an agenda there that maybe they
want to? 100%. 100%. Like, we know how the government works, man. They try and push people, they try and divide them so that there is disharmony. So then they can do what they like.
Create the problem so they can be the solution.
Exactly right, man. Look, in terms of the immigration, man, I don't like the trajectory that Australia is on in any way, shape or form, because the people that are coming, they aren't assimilating, man. And so many people say to me, oh, what do you want them to assimilate to? What's Aussie culture, drinking beer and barbecues? It's like, man, just don't tell us how to live our lives. Like, that's what assimilation is. You know, you look at all the old immigrants that come, and I've had 2 Uber drivers here thus far. I look at my grandparents that were born in Greece or Cyprus and came here. Man, they came here, they learnt the language. They didn't expect anyone to practice their own religions, even though they're Christian anyway, but they were Orthodox. They didn't try and tell people to live life in a different way. They're not trying to tell people to cover up, you know, or anything as such.
Yep.
They just came and they just fit in. And that's the way it should be, man. You know, I think another big issue we see is obviously the crime statistics out of these places where people are coming from. This is a hard one because if you look at the people coming from Africa, let's say.
I was going to say the crime I would say, is leaning more towards your Sudanese gangs,
100%.
stuff like that, right?
You look at where they come from, though. They're coming from war-torn countries where crime or violence, extreme violence, is normal.
Yeah, life is very cheap to them.
Yeah, that's right. And it's very normal, man. So if you have a child from the age of, let's say, 5 to 15 experiencing machete crime back where they were born and they come here, it is a norm. So our government actually needs to step up and see what's going on with these people before they allow them into the community. Sounds crazy, but like, if someone has been shown all of this violence, they will think it's normal. So you've got to help them understand that that's not normal here. So come down on them like a ton of bricks if they do it. And if they do it again, send them back. Yeah. Like, people are going to say, oh, you can't do that. It's like, well, yes, you can. Why can't you protect a country? You know? And look, I blame the government heavily for what's going on. It's not the people that come. It's the government for letting them come. And like, when we think in terms of other countries around the world where we see they are being overrun by immigrants.
UK and stuff like that.
UK is a perfect example, right? Man, the UK, their immigration issue is an extreme, like the Islamists are taking over there. That's fact.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't have, they're not a big island like us. You know, people can just come in every day and the government are letting them come. Yeah. And as we've all seen, they're middle-aged fighting men. They are taking over. Like, it's not like here. Our government are letting them in. Man, we don't have thousands of boats a week coming. Yeah. It just doesn't happen. You know, so that's where the lines are so blurred. People compare Australia to Europe so often, and I just think to myself now, like, yeah, sure, we're on a similar trajectory, but it's nowhere near the same because of pure geography. Yeah. You know? But people struggle to put facts over feelings. They feel fear, so they instantly react with anger.
Why do you think some people are so, I don't want to just blanket them and call them woke, but why do you think some people are so pro-immigration, like they don't believe in any boundaries, borders, any rules?
They hate themselves.
Right.
I've tried to work this out.
Yeah.
They hate themselves. And like, why I say this, right? Like, there's a big movement, obviously, for protect white culture. Even I understand it. Man, I'm tanned as. Like, I get it. Why can't you, as a white man, stand up for your culture? There's Black Lives Matter. Yeah. There's, like, obviously the Jewish people. I know they're not a race, but as an example, like, the Jewish people have plenty of protection, you know? There's Islamophobia rules now. But what does the white man have? You know, but then you see these white people creating a song and dance saying, let these people come, protect the black lives, protect the brown lives. Like, sometimes you got to think to yourself, do you realize what you're saying?
Yeah. Do you think maybe they don't realize it'll touch them? Maybe they think it's a way to virtue signal, and all of a
100%.
sudden, until their actual daughter, and I'm not saying that everyone who comes over is a rapist,
No.
or carries a machete.
No.
I had someone close to me, in my DMs saying, because I made a comment basically, they say we're bringing in skilled labour, but the only tool they carry in with them is a machete.
Yeah.
Blanket statement. I'm not saying every single immigrant. I got two brother-in-laws, 3 or 4 brother-in-laws, all of them from different countries.
Yeah, man.
All highly skilled.
Yep.
Love them all. Like, they got better. I'm jealous of their cultures, actually. They're actually got amazing cultures. But I think maybe until someone's daughter is harmed, someone's son is walking home and gets attacked by someone, until it touches them, all of a sudden they don't believe in traditional conservative values.
Well, that's the problem with Australia, man. There's so much she'll be right attitude.
Yeah.
And until that problem is on your doorstep, you don't care about it.
Which I feel like it's coming to our doorstep.
Man, it's here,
Yeah.
but that's the biggest thing. And my old man always taught me, he said, it's easier to stand up while the opponent's foot's on your stomach than on your neck.
Yeah.
So when you stand up, when one of your family members have been hurt, it's too late.
Yeah.
Your family member already got hurt, raped, attacked, whatever it may be. And like, what's the point of making a song and dance then when you could have been doing it well before? And that's not to say that there aren't skilled labour coming, but man, a perfect example of how crooked our system is at this point in time. I had a bloke reach out to me. So they're living over in Malaysia. He's an Aussie, married a Malaysian lady. She runs a real estate agent. She has 4 offices of her own. She has all these employees. Very successful lady by the sounds of it. Her visa got denied 3 times because they thought that she was going to stay here illegally. So now they have to prove that her business is blah, 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 blah for her to get let in. Yet they can let in undesirables that commit heinous crimes and no one bats an eyelid. Yep. Do you know what I mean? Was it your post? It probably was. The cafe owners having issues with their visa. Yeah, the Ukrainian. And then the Papua New Guinean dude. Man. Yep. Touched up a 15-year-old or something. Oh, I can't remember the PNG story.
But it doesn't matter. He broke the law.
He broke the law, man. They didn't deport him.
You get to stay.
But the Ukrainian family that have created a cafe, I think it was South Australia. Yeah, a business. They employ Aussies. Yeah. They're loved by the community. Their visa's not getting renewed. And you've got to ask yourself, like, what's going on? Like it literally, it's got to a point where I no longer understand it. And like I make some of this content and I sit there thinking about it after I've made it. I'm like, what's going on? Like, how can anyone explain that? Like, we've got ISIS brides coming back from the Middle East, but we're going to deport a Ukrainian family that are like
contributing to our community,
giving back to Australia,
creating taxes.
Bro,
they're doing all the right things.
It's insane.
Have you landed on the position that there has to be an agenda? Our politicians are 100%. Either corrupt, compromised, or incompetent, or all three.
All three put together, man.
Do you believe in I often think about people who get extremely famous, celebrities who blow up out of nowhere. Yep. And I mentioned this in another podcast as well, how all of a sudden they just blow up out of nowhere and then they do their thing and they for example, they come out and they endorse Joe Biden when that was basically, how could you endorse that back in 2020? Right. Some of your biggest stars, The Rock, Kevin Hart, right? All of a sudden, like, guys, how can you put your name to this? They don't need the money, so they haven't been paid to do it. What have they got on you? Do you think like that as well?
Always.
For the viewer watching?
You know what, man? You say that they've got the money, but where's the money coming from? So it's the people that have allowed them to get that money. It's the people that have allowed them to get to that level in such a short period of time. And that's why people like Sam and I, we cop all this flack. You're paid by this government. You're paid by that government. You're this, you're that. It's like, no, we're not. But because we're so used to seeing people in a spotlight selling out, people automatically think you have sold out. There's definitely a greater agenda at play. Like, you could go into the whole deep state sort of stuff, and I think it definitely has roots in Australia. 110%, man. Like, you look at the way that Australians are treated by our government. Like, we are highly taxed. Yeah. We are a resource-rich country, but the people are poor. What's going on? Like,
Sounds like some other countries.
They're literally using us for whatever they want. Who they are, you can't point fingers because we don't know. Like, but Australia is being used, and the people are being disregarded. It's literally as simple as that at this point.
Did you get like this from COVID or from your dad?
Bro, I was well before COVID.
Yeah, man. Okay.
I was a big talker during COVID, man. My personal account got banned into the dark ages, bro.
Okay, so you were already past your apprenticeship in talking truth before
man.
COVID.
Yeah,
okay.
man. Yeah.
So a bit of your dad comes through in this
100%,
stuff?
bro. I remember seeing 9/11 and within a month, Dad said, there's no way a plane does that.
Okay.
And like, I was a kid. I was a child and Dad, like, it's been drilled into my head and people are going to say, oh, that's crazy. As a Boilermaker, so my trade is Boilermaking. It is categorically impossible for a plane to burn at the temperature needed to collapse a building.
Yeah.
Impossible. But then, like, let's add salt onto the wound. People believe that a passport survived buildings collapsing and they found it blocks away.
Yeah.
Like, are you retarded? Are people actually that dumb to believe that? So that's where it all started for me, man.
Do you think they want to believe that? Do you think they choose to? I've got people close to me, relatives, right, who I've tried to say, hey, come on. And they just go, one of them in particular said to me, I actually can't deal with it, Brodie.
Cognitive dissonance.
I actually don't want to go there. I want to live my life with my, as a cliche.
In the sand.
Exactly. Literally said that. I just want to raise my kids. And I'm like, you're not going to be able to raise your kids soon though. If you don't start thinking about this, you're not raising your kids right now. I walked into a preschool the other day. I didn't, sorry. Who was it? No, it was my wife. My wife walked into the preschool. Yeah, she told me. She walked in and she walked in, and this is a Christian preschool, and we love them. They're amazing. She walked in and one of the young educators, as she's dropping off my boy, is like, all right, we're going to put our hands on the ground and thank the owners. This is a Christian preschool.
Yeah.
And she rings me, she goes, I don't know, you won't believe what I just saw. And then she put it in a group with my other mate who's like, he's basically just as outspoken as I am without a show. And he just went straight in there. I was in Brisbane. He went straight in. He goes, what the frig is this? Never again. Job done.
Yeah. Good. Our children should not be growing up being ashamed to be here.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. I have Indigenous friends as well, and they've explained a lot to me. Like, it is very raw and real for them, and I get that. But it doesn't mean that you need to shame the next generation for living here because it's not their fault. So why do they have to grow up thinking that we've stolen land or they have? Because they haven't. They did nothing.
Yeah.
They did nothing wrong.
Every Prime Minister has to say sorry.
You know what I mean? I think that coming back to your friend that said they want to live with their head in the sand, how can you think that you're going to raise your children when you're going to leave them a world that is in demise?
Yeah.
Like, you want your kids to live with their head in the sand? No. You want your kids to be awake and aware of the threats around the world. It's like someone punching you in the head and saying, I'm going to ignore that even happened and just, it's okay. No, it's not.
Yeah.
And it's a real worry, man. There are so many people like that are just happy to sign out of life. Like, oh, it doesn't bother me. Well, it's going to ruin your children's life. Do you want to leave the earth knowing that? I don't. That's why I talk, man.
Yeah.
My kids. Like, to me, when I'm grey and old and if I see the world is horrible, I've failed as a parent.
Yeah.
Like, I know one man can't change the world, but one man can talk to many men and together you can change the world. You know what I mean? So it's a crazy time to be.
Do you get many people in your DMs reaching out to you, talking to you, wanting to do what you're doing and say, I don't know how to go about it. I don't know how to start. I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
What's your encouragement to them?
All the time, man. I say just do it, but obviously I always say put your family first. So what I mean by that is there are so many jobs these days where if you do what I do, they'll sack you.
Of course. And
that's a shame. Like, not everyone can go and be a business owner and run their own stuff so they can talk as I do or as Sam does or as you do, which is sad. But in that instance, I should say, share your message.
Yeah.
Share it to those around you. Let people know how you feel. Obviously, don't do it in a militant way. Don't do it so you get sacked. Do it so people know where you stand. Draw that line in the sand. You know what I mean? That's it.
Do you think men have a hard time these days just being truth tellers?
Yeah, man.
Just being able to, small example, well, not example, but say small scenario. I'm not even talking about the big stuff, but like, one thing that really sort of irritates me is just weak men, just in general.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting you to be an over-top alpha who can walk into the room and dominate. I just mean, like, example, if you're at a barbecue and someone's talking nonsense about someone else, if you know the truth, get comfortable being uncomfortable and go, oh, that's not true. I know that guy.
Yeah.
What do you find there's a bit of a real lack in men these days
100%.
being able to just
Man, look, in my opinion, and this has come from COVID, men are in their feminine. A lot of men are in like a feminine energy. They refuse to stand. They refuse to speak. They refuse to be morally driven.
Yeah.
Or good, like with good moral. They just stay quiet.
Yeah.
And complacent and complicit and comfortable. They'd prefer to drink and watch footy. And it's a real worry, man. Like, people should stand up for even the most basic things. Your example, perfect, man. If you can't
start there.
If you can't defend your mate when someone else is talking about him, you're not his friend, but you actually, I wouldn't consider you a man. You know what? Another one that I love to say, like, if you're triggered by content online to the point that you'll threaten violence, you're not a man either.
Yeah.
Like, man, if my content, for example, really upsets someone and they threaten to kill me or whatever it is, which there've been plenty of, how can you call yourself a man?
Yeah.
Like, you can't have a conversation and try and rectify what's going on or work out someone else's stance. You just go straight to violence. Like, a great thing that I learned when I was young, it's probably one of the only things I learned from one of the older fellas, like when we were on the streets doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between being feared and respected.
Yeah.
It's no good being feared because no one actually respects you.
Yeah.
But being respected is a whole different story. Man, doesn't matter who threatens me, like, how could I respect you for that?
Yeah.
You know, I'll respect anyone that'll come to me and say, hey, man, I don't like what you said. Even if they come at me with a bit of anger, but if they can say, what are you talking about?
Do you get many people ever approach you and say, hey, man, I don't appreciate your views on this, or I don't agree with this?
Online or in person?
In person.
In person, yeah, man. I had a bloke last night at the International Brawling Champs, and he explained his background. It was he's Muslim, and at first he's like, man, I don't appreciate the way you send your message, blah blah blah, sort of thing. I'm cutting it short for the viewers, obviously, but
great place to be confronted.
Yeah, exactly.
International
right.
brawling.
Yeah, exactly right. He's like, man, he goes, I feel as though you send like a hateful message, sort of thing, and I can actually understand it, man. Like, I put myself in their shoes.
Still good feedback, right?
It's great feedback, right? But I understand it because I've gone through my comment section, man, and it's pretty disgusting sometimes. Like, I'm not in control of my comments, and that's something that does bother me because, again, low IQ, racist, hate. I'm not about it.
Yeah.
So I can understand how it can be misconstrued. And after we had a 10-minute chat or so, he actually came around. He goes, man, I got it all wrong. He goes, like, big respect. He goes, you just call out people for what they are. He goes, you really do mean, like, it doesn't matter what race, doesn't matter what religion, doesn't matter who or what they are. If they are poor humans, you'll call a spade a spade. So it was nice, man. And that's the only negative that I've ever encountered, and it turned out to be good, which is great, man. Because it goes to show, man, like, I like to say I'm pretty good with my words. Like, I like talking to people, man. It's the best way to resolve things and the best way to learn, you know? But in saying this, I'm sure there will be a day someone comes at me more aggressively, and it is what it is, man. I can't do anything about it. But I think a big thing that I will reiterate, and I'm going to say this from now on, if something happens to me, right, and my wife jumps on my Instagram 24 hours later and says he's been bashed, stabbed, shot, dead, people need to understand that when I have a following of over 500,000 people, a lot of them patriotic Australians, and my missus says it happened here, you could probably expect a really shitty outcome. So people need to take that into consideration. Like, I will never go out of my way to be aggressive towards someone, but if someone is aggressive towards me, you can expect that you're going to be well known within 24 hours. And it's not a threat, man. It's just, why do I want someone like you in this country? Why should I hide it? I don't hide the news stories. I don't hide the stories of the immigrants that are bad. I don't hide the stories of the Australian pedophiles. So I'm not going to hide you being a piece of shit either. You know what I mean? And it's so sad that I have to say this. Like, why should someone's message have to end up with hate, death threats, so on and so forth in Australia? You know, we don't live in a dictatorship.
Yeah, my most recent one, I had a bloke threaten. He gave me extreme details on how he was going to rape me. And I just said, sounds pretty gay. I'll pray for you. It's funny, the ones you get in there, I'm like, man, sounds a bit gay, but I can pray for you. But I can't imagine the levels of threats you guys get because obviously your profile is so much bigger. It's just,
man, some of them are pretty full on. what a lot of people probably don't know, I don't know if Sam touched on it yesterday, but
He
personally,
did.
man,
It's a concern for him.
yeah, man. Personally, I now have boys that are former special forces that if I need them to watch over me, they'll be there. Like if I need people to pick me up from airports that are serious, like they'll be there. If I need people to make sure that there's nothing that can be picked up on geographically, they'll do that. Like there's real teams behind us now.
Which is good. That's needed.
You know what, man?
It's a shame that it's at that level.
It's a shame. But you know what, man? Like, it's a shame I've even got to say this, but the people behind us are dangerous.
Yeah.
They're not gangbangers on the road, bro. Like, these are people that have gone overseas that fought for Australia, that were given medals for Australia, that watch over us.
Yeah.
And another thing, like, man, with our followings, right? So obviously there's a lot of police that can't comment. There's a lot of military that can't comment. There's a lot of former military that can't comment because they're in private contracts, but they talk to us.
Yeah.
And they're like, we've got you the whole way because we spread a message for pro-Australia. And that's what people forget, man. They think that, oh, they're just another bloke. It's like, yeah, but we've got a quiet army behind us, like right behind us.
Sam talked a little bit offline. We're going to do a chat. I asked him a little bit of stuff around faith and stuff like that.
Yep.
He said that he has a lot of people praying for him, which he receives in nice.
So do
you
I.
get a bit of that?
All the time.
How does that make you feel?
It's awesome. It's awesome, man. It's great. Like, my journey with God's been very interesting, man. So I was baptized Orthodox when I was a baby. And as of late, I'm sure you would have seen the video. I went back and did it again. And everyone's like, oh, you're in a Protestant church. And, and man, I need to make something very clear to people from this. I don't go to a church for the denomination. I go to church for God. Like, that's it. It doesn't mean anything to me that there's a Protestant church. And I know a lot of the Catholics and Orthodox are going to say, well, our church is the way. It's all good. They can feel like that. Everyone can, you know?
Yeah.
But for me personally, like my wife likes the church. My kids love the church. I go there because it's just my peace and quiet time to pray and enjoy the messages that they spread. Yep. But I did that personally because it was a pact between me and the man himself to say, I'm leaving all of that old stuff behind. I'm letting it go. I'm going to wash it all away and start again. And it's awesome, man. Like the amount of people that seem to be coming back to Christ as well, post Charlie Kirk, insane. Insane, man. Like they killed the most moderate man, but look what it did. And it's interesting. Like it's called Turning Point. It was a turning point.
How old were you when you got baptized? Just how recent? Like within the last year?
Yeah.
Okay, like 6 months. Okay, 3 months.
3 months? Yeah.
Yeah. I was an atheist until 27.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 27 years anti.
Yeah.
My best friend at the time, he ended up becoming a Christian when we were like 18, 19, very early.
Yep.
And how extreme he went for our circumstances. It was just so much of a shock to me, and I went against it. And again, at the time, all I'd known about Christianity really was, current affairs reporting on Brian Houston. So I was just kind of, and I was very staunch in it. Yeah. And the character traits that make me good at what I do now also made me a horrible atheist because I would go out of my way to make fun of it, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's right.
But I probably just wasn't planning on talking about this, but short encouragement for people who are going to be watching this podcast for you, but is also that young men, the greatest thing you can ever do is actually give your life to Jesus because you very quickly realize that, hey, going home, having 6 beers at night, your kids don't really know you, your wife get like all the things that the normal Australian culture that we don't think about. It's just a slow grind. You're paying the mortgage. You're barely showing up to footy on the Saturday to watch the kids. All that stuff, because the cost of living's too high, you can't afford things, that will kill you because there's no existence there.
None.
But all of a sudden when you have this, eternal perspective, you start thinking about the bigger picture. Yeah. It also gives you fuel to be able to do this and go, I couldn't care less if they come after me.
Exactly right, man.
Because they can do what they want, but they can't take your eternity.
Exactly right.
And that's such a special place to be. A quick little evangelistic message for people watching.
You're bang
the
on.
Best thing you can do as a man, give your life to Jesus.
100%. You're bang on, man. And not only that, I think for me personally, the more and more I lean into it, like, man, every morning, like, I'll wake up, crack of dawn, I read the Bible, do my gratitudes, intentions, I'll say a prayer and get on with my day. But the biggest thing that I've realized and the biggest thing that I've been taught is that God's in control. Right, he's got the wheel at the end of the day. Like you've still got to pedal, so to speak, or still got to accelerate, so to speak. But
I like that.
He will make sure things work out. right? And he'll take things away from you when they're not going to work, and he'll give you things when they are going to work, and he will test you the whole way as well. And if he's not testing you, Satan's testing you, and he's just watching to see what choice you make, right? And for me, man, through the past 6 months, when there's been like things happening in my life and I'm like, oh my God, my life is falling apart. What is going on? Everything's just crumbling in front of me. And I'm like, give it to God. Yeah. Give it to God. And man, within 2 weeks, back to where I wanted to be. It's all good. But the old me probably would have freaked out, went on a bender, made it all worse, felt worse the next weekend, do it again. And it becomes that vicious cycle of, why am I doing this? I hate my life. I hate myself. The kids don't know who I am. The kids see me drunk. Like, you know what I mean? You're achieving very little. Whereas now, man, like I literally give it to God.
Yeah.
Take the wheel.
The simplicity of the gospel is you can't do anything. He did it for you. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah.
It's a beautiful place to be. I want to just touch back on the thing that holds, men and women back that I see the most, and we have sort of mentioned it, but this whole fear of men, like, oh, so-and-so will think this. I'm worried what someone will think. My 13-year-old daughter asked me the other day, she's a deep thinker. She's an old soul, right? She sits down, we're having quality time. She loves time with dad. And she says, if you could talk to your 13-year-old self version. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, she's very dramatic. I'm surprised it wasn't delivered in a poem. She's very dramatic, right? And she's like, what would you say to your 13-year-old self? I'm like, far out. But because she's so intentional, I have to make sure the answer's good. So I took my time thinking about it, and I just reflected on what had stopped me for so long in life. And my answer was, if you can kill the fear of man and only have an audience for one, if you never care what your friends think, even what mum and dad, never have this perceived thought of what anyone else will think, everything else will fall into place because she's got a relationship with Jesus. Everything else will fall into place. And I sort of explained to her, that cost me 15 years of my life. Always worrying about what people might think, alpha on the outside, but kind of like insecurities, like hammering me on the inside. And then she's like, oh, that's amazing. She's like, is that why you don't dance in public? And I'm like, it's actually exactly why I don't dance in public, but I still haven't got over that yet, but that's good. Yeah. If you were in charge, Chocky, hypothetical, if you're in charge of this country, you don't have to give me 3 or 5. What's the kind of the first thing you think you'd do to get things back on track?
Mate, you'd have to, first off, to make the public happy, you'd have to reel back immigration. You've got to, in my opinion, to have a happy country, it's like running a happy business, running a business that's happy, right?
Yep.
The people have to be happy.
Yeah,
because they are the reason why the business works. Yeah, it's the same as a country. If you have unhappy civilians, your country's not working. There's civil distress or unrest everywhere, right? So you reel that back straight away. You vet the people coming in. You make sure they actually are high quality skilled, not the doctors and engineers that we see in this day and age, right? That's number one. Number two, you have to overhaul the judicial system. Something is going diabolically wrong in there, right? You see repeat offenders getting out. It's like a revolving door. But not only that, man, people are becoming institutionalized. There's no help for those that do end up in jail when they want to get back into society. We sort of forget about them. And it's almost like how veterans are forgotten about when they come back from war. They're just pushed to the side and forgotten about. So in my opinion, there'd have to be a big judicial system overhaul, 100%. I actually believe that judges and magistrates need to be under more scrutiny because at this point in time, man, it is near impossible to get one of them sacked. I don't know if you've looked into it. I've spoken to my lawyer about it at length. It is nearly impossible for them to lose their job. Very, very, very difficult. And that's wrong because if they make consistent poor decisions, we'll call it, they shouldn't have a job. Like if you're letting out sex offenders consistently, you're probably one yourself or you're pitying on them for whatever reason. Yeah. Something's wrong there. So that'd be number two. I think number three, man, something's got to be rejigged in the way that Australians are taxed. Yeah. Because we should not be as poor as we are at all. Like there's something really wrong there. I think as well, we need to make more money as a country off our natural resource. So that way, man, like we could be like a Dubai with what we have here.
Absolutely.
We really could, but we're not because we're run by idiots. And I think they're probably the top ones that come to mind, man. Like harder on criminals that need to be hard on. The tax overhaul, like just work out the economy, fix it, so we become the ones that reap the reward. Judicial system overhaul, man, and then the immigration.
I agree. My three are around very, very similar. My three are the three things that matter to people is safety, economy, and freedoms.
Exactly, yeah.
So safety comes down to immigration, not because every immigrant is unsafe. That's not it. It's the way we are not vetting people properly, the screening process. You know, my brother-in-law he's an Orthodox Christian from Lebanon. He's an architect. How long do you reckon it took him to be able to get a visa? Married to my sister to get in the country. Like we're talking years and years and years.
Yeah.
He's an architect.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A Christian architect.
Crazy.
Who's married to an Australian. Yeah. Couldn't get in. He's here now. God bless him. He's amazing. My other brother-in-law, Czechoslovakian, amazing guy. Another brother-in-law from Venezuela, amazing guy, skilled, works, gives to the community, does his thing. Wasn't easy to get here. It just seems like there's I don't want to just keep going around it, but it's true. There's some weird agenda to just constantly pump the bad people in. And so I go back to, I'm saying, safety is around who's around you, because that's what's going to make you safe or not.
Naturally.
Yep, safety, immigration, which just means bring great people in. Yeah. You know, I want to migrate to America one day. Let me in. I'm a good person, right? I'm not bringing a machete with me. The other thing would be, so safety, then it'd be economy, I agree. Taxes, I just think our bureaucracy is too big.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, get them out.
Yep.
Sam mentioned something. Sam basically said, let's put them on, basically set them up like a profit share. If we don't make money as a country, you don't get paid.
You don't get paid.
Yeah, and it sounds crazy, but it's good. You watch how quick they can make decisions to get paid.
Exactly
because the means to do it is there. You just start firing all the people who are writing legislation, who have their own agendas.
No, get rid of all the DEI.
You do a deep dive into who writes legislation, you'll quickly work out why some of the stuff is in there. It's out of control, the people writing the legislation.
Insane.
And they're not voted in.
No.
They're just people writing anything they can get in there that's LGBT alphabet. It'll be in every piece of legislation. You're like, why does this need to be in here?
Exactly right.
And the other thing was, what I say, so safety,
freedom,
economy, and then freedoms. Man, freedoms are like, just let us live. We don't want to be lawless or reckless. I want to be able to have my property, do what I want on my property that's legal. You just don't want to have freedom of speech taken away. I would actually say we need a Bill of Rights. So that'd be the first thing I'd do, would be some kind of Bill of Rights that we have in America that protects Australians to be individuals, sovereign citizens.
You know what? I'd probably pick that up in my ones as well. Like, I think it goes in terms in the way that I said it. If you have a happy population, and to be happy, you got to be free.
You'll be free.
So it goes hand in hand.
It does, absolutely.
It's necessary because they're constantly taking freedoms away. They're constantly making us jump through hoops for things. As you said, like if you've got a property, you want to do whatever you want on it. It's yours, no? So why can't you? But instead, you've got to put this document in. You've got to apply for this. You've got to do that, blah, 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 blah. It's like, hang on a second, man. This is mine. I own it.
Yeah.
So why do I have to keep paying you to change what I own?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's horrible. What do you think about the whole digital ID debacle? What do you think the biggest threat? Right, everyone's talking about it. Every commentator out there will have a view on it. What is your personal biggest issue, say, with digital ID?
It's the step into a social credit system, man. It's step one, and it's the worst way that any country could go because there's no freedom. Like, you look at all the dystopian sort of movies you see and all that sort of stuff that have like a social credit system. I think it's even in China at this point in time. I don't know if they've rolled it out across the whole country. I don't stay up to date with China, to be honest. But if you drop your points, you're not allowed to do A. If you keep going down, you're not allowed to do B. If you keep going down, you're not allowed to do C. Now, A could be travel more than 10 kilometers. B could be healthcare. C could be go to the grocery store. So realistically, they have complete control over what you do as a human being. That is not okay. Like, how is that freedom? How is that democracy? How is that first world country? Like, I think the whole idea needs to be scrapped, man. And it comes from this social media ban for under 16s. That's not about kids. That is not about kids at all. If that was about kids, they would shut down all pedophilia networking and all pedophilia content online first, but they don't. They could, but they don't. So you've got to look at it through that lens. Like, if there are people out there that still think that that's there to protect kids, you need your head read, because the next step is they're going to restrict what you do online. Yeah. They're going to watch what you do online. You know, it's like how people now, are getting arrested for what they say online. Man, I had a follower reach out to me saying his house got raided, his phones got seized, his business got raided. He did use a poor choice of words, so I'm not sticking up for him, but he sent an email to a politician. He didn't say, I'm going to do anything to you. He said if this was the 1800s, things would be different. Like it implied a revolution or whatever, right? Door got kicked in, whatever. But the reason why I bring this up is because then they questioned him, why did you share my Telegram account to other people? And I'm like, my Telegram account's fine. There's nothing bad on it. But why are you watching it? You know, it's like, I know for a fact they're watching people like us because as soon as we incite violence, they will kick our door in. But we're not going to incite violence because by doing that, you lose your platform. But what I think, look, personally, I reckon the government know this very well. If they silence me or Sam, what's the next stop? Where do they go? It's like how they silenced Charlie Kirk. Now they go to Nick Fuentes. They silence me or Sam, there's only more extreme past us. And they don't want that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, and that's the way I always look at it, man. Like if you shut us down, everyone's just going to get worse.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years?
Mate, that is a great question, and I have no idea, bro.
Every week's different at the moment?
Man, I've got no idea. With the trajectory that I'm on, one of my mentors actually, he's like, man, end of next year, he goes, I reckon you'll be at 1 million followers 100%, given that I don't get nuked or some new censorship laws come in. In terms of business, man, I've got no idea what I want to do. I'm still sort of trying to find that gold, so to speak. Like I'm always going to stay a coach.
Yeah.
I don't want to build a massive coaching business though, because I just feel as though it becomes watered down, man. So what I mean by that, if I had 400 clients, I couldn't deal with 400 clients on my own. I'd have to have a coach on, but then they're not dealing with me.
Yeah.
And I feel as though people would come to me for coaching to deal with me, to talk to me, to know me. You know, so that's I'd love to keep that on a small scale, but man, I've only been doing this for a year.
Yeah,
like some people take 10 years to find a business that works for them. So I really don't know, man. I'm just leaving no stone unturned along the way, networking with everyone that I can, learning as much as I can, and enjoying it, bro.
If I could sum up if I could get you to sum up your message, 2 or 3 points. That we've got time now. It's not a quick reel. You're not looking for attention.
Yep.
Just a really simple message to the Australian public, whether it's young men, fathers, husbands. How would you put into words like what you'd love to see from the people who are watching you?
Man, I want people to stand up for their children, stand up for their families, stand up for their country. But on the same note, don't be a low IQ racist hater. Like, don't judge people purely because of their faith, and allow people to interact with you and learn about each other's cultures, right? Don't get into theological debate when you've got no idea what you're talking about. Like, spread love, peace, and unity, but still protect what needs to be protected. Because at the end of the day, man, we're all human. People have forgotten that. So take it back to basics. Everyone is a human. Everyone deserves that right to be respected until they disrespect you. So don't go out spreading blanket hate. Be a lover, not a fighter, but know how to fight if you need to. And that's it, man. Use your voice and use it wisely.
It's great advice. If I could, sometimes it feels like a deep question, and it kind of is, but I want to ask you how you think you'd be remembered or how you would like to be.
Yeah.
So let's paint the scenario that your kid's a little bit older, you're a little bit older, and your time has passed. How does Chocky want to be remembered?
Man, I want to be remembered for that guy that told people to find their voice, and they did. That's it, man. I just want people to know that I started to speak so others could as well. That's it, man.
Chocky.
Nothing else, bro.
Thanks for being with us.
Man, thank you for having me. It was unreal.
It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, bro. If you like that yarn, go like and subscribe. And that's my take from the controversial coach. If you don't like it,
Hey, just subscribe. Just subscribe.
Chocky out.